Have you ever wondered if it's possible to trigger a deep, lasting attraction in a woman, even if she initially seems uninterested or even dismissive? That might sound impossible, like some kind of psychological sleight of hand. But the truth is, there are real, research-backed principles that can shift how someone sees you if you use them with integrity. These aren't tricks. They're ways of showing up differently, more grounded, more self-aware, and more magnetic. When practiced with emotional maturity and ethical intent, they can completely change how women respond to you. This isn't about pretending to be someone else. It's about becoming the most compelling version of yourself. These 12 strategies don't guarantee anything, but they stack the odds heavily in your favor. 1. Be authentic. What separates someone memorable from the crowd isn't wealth, looks, or clever lines. It's authenticity. Most men compete on the same playing field: flashy status, forced confidence, and recycled compliments. But when a woman doesn't initially feel drawn to you, those things rarely change her mind. What does? Seeing something real, something uniquely you. Share your passions not to impress, but because they genuinely light you up. Talk about the music you create, the flavors you experiment with, the books that shaped you. That energy is contagious. When you stop trying to fit a mold and start owning what makes you different, you stop being invisible. You start being seen. Second, balance connection and distance. Constant availability kills mystery, yet total detachment makes you forgettable. The sweet spot? Knowing when to lean in and when to step back. Connection is about being fully present, showing genuine interest, making her feel heard, sharing a moment. Distance is about respecting your own space and time, not rushing to fill every silence or reply instantly. When you create that natural ebb and flow, you stir something in her. Curiosity. She starts wondering why you're not chasing, why you're not like the rest. The tension that builds when you're not always available is powerful, and when handled with maturity, it becomes a magnetic force that pulls her closer. 3. Use unexpected gestures. Predictability is comfortable, but it's also forgettable. If you want to shift the way someone sees you, break the pattern. Instead of sticking to the same old coffee meetups or polite texts, find small, creative ways to surprise her. Maybe it's an invite to a rooftop poetry reading, a scenic walk she's never taken, or a thoughtful message that ties back to a previous conversation. The point isn't to show off, it's to show that you're paying attention, that you care enough to think differently. These kinds of thoughtful, unpredictable moments don't just get noticed, they get remembered. Fourth project, inner strength. Real strength is quiet. It doesn't shout, doesn't flex, and doesn't react out of ego. It shows up in how you handle stress, conflict, or setbacks. If a woman doesn't initially see you as attractive, showing emotional composure during difficult moments can shift that. Picture a tense situation. Someone insults you, plans fall apart, things go wrong. Most people panic, lash out, or blame. You stay calm, composed, in control. That kind of grounded presence tells her that you're not just stable, you're reliable, and in a world full of reactive people, that alone makes you stand out. 5. Recognize her achievements without friend-zoning yourself. Complimenting a woman doesn't mean putting yourself in the safe, nice guy box. The key is how you do it. When she accomplishes something meaningful, acknowledge it, but do it with presence and purpose. Say something like, "That's impressive. I admire how much drive you have. It's rare." Then move on with confident energy. Don't hover, don't fawn. Let the compliment land without needing anything in return. When you recognize her strength without groveling, she doesn't just feel validated, she feels seen by someone who might actually match her. 6. Appreciate her intellect and essence, not just her looks. Surface-level compliments fade fast. She's heard, "You're pretty," 1,000 times. But "I respect the way your mind works" hits differently. When you focus on her thoughts, her passions, or her creativity, you show her that you're looking beyond the obvious. You're not there for just the image, you're tuned into the substance. That kind of attention catches her off guard in the best way. It's rare, and rare is attractive. Suddenly, you're not just another admirer, you're someone who sees what others miss. 7. Show humanity without weakness. You don't need to be perfect to be attractive. In fact, trying to be perfect usually backfires. Real connection happens when you reveal that you're human, not broken, not needy, just honest about your journey. Share the setbacks that shaped you. Talk about what you've struggled with and how you grew. Vulnerability, when expressed with confidence, shows depth. It says, "I've been through things, and I came out stronger." That's powerful. It doesn't push people away, it pulls them in. 8. Master the power of silence. Silence makes a lot of men nervous. They think every pause must be filled, every moment must be smooth. But silence, when embraced, can be your ally. It shows self-possession. When you don't rush to speak, when you let a moment breathe, you show her that you're comfortable with tension, that you don't need constant validation. It's a rare energy that says, "I'm not here to impress, I'm just present." That kind of energy is magnetic. 9. Make your life worth being part of. Attraction isn't just about how you look or what you say. It's about the world you live in. If your life is full, passionate, and driven, you don't need to sell yourself. Just sharing parts of it naturally invites her curiosity. Talk about your latest trip, a project you're proud of, or how you spend your weekends. Not to brag, but to share. Show, don't sell. When your life speaks for itself, it makes her think, what would it be like to be part of that? And that thought alone changes the game. 10. Surprise her with real attention. The bar is low, but your standard should be high. Most people don't actually listen. So when you do, and follow up later with something specific she said, it leaves a mark. Maybe she mentioned an author she likes, and later you send her a quote or a recommendation. It's small, but it says, "I heard you." And that kind of care gets through defenses. You become someone different, not because you tried too hard, but because you paid attention when it mattered. 11th, stand by your limits. Don't shapeshift to fit in. If you're not into partying, heavy drinking, or last-minute plans, say so, respectfully. You're not rejecting her, you're honoring yourself. When you live by your values without needing approval, she notices. She might not agree, she might challenge it, but she'll respect it. Most people bend to please. You don't. That quiet firmness, that's rare, and it changes how she sees you. 12th, be emotionally independent. The most attractive men don't chase validation, they carry their own. If she doesn't reply for a day, you're unbothered. If she seems distracted during a meetup, you don't spiral, you stay grounded. She'll notice that, and it'll throw her off in a good way. You're not reactive, you're centered. That kind of emotional discipline makes you stand out from everyone else clamoring for her attention. You're not trying to get her, you're just living, and that's magnetic. Why this might seem controversial, and how to use it. Right. Yes, these behaviors can trigger strong emotional reactions. They're powerful, and anything powerful can be misused. But the moment you use them to manipulate, you've already lost the core of what makes them work. The goal isn't control, it's clarity. You're showing up as someone centered, confident, and intentional. That energy naturally draws people in. But if someone becomes overly dependent on you, or a complicated situation arises, the ethical move is to be honest and kind, not evasive. attraction should never come at the cost of integrity. Conclusion. This isn't a hack. It's not a cheat code. It's a mindset shift, a blueprint for becoming someone others are drawn to because of how you live, not just how you look. Attraction, real attraction, is built on emotional depth, confidence, and consistency. You don't need to chase approval when you live with purpose. You don't need to perform when your presence speaks for itself. If you apply these ideas with honesty and self-awareness, you'll start to see a shift. Not just in how women see you, but in how you see yourself. And that's where the real transformation begins.